Since he first brought out the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, that came out some 20 years ago, Douglas Adams has been a busy, busy person. The Hitchhiker series has been a book, a radio and television series, a stage play, a record album, a computer game, and even a bath towel. And along the way, Douglas found time to create Dirk Gently, the holistic detective. And his latest project allows him to indulge his enthusiasm for computers. And here it is, the Starship Titanic. Good timing, huh? It is an interactive adventure that takes place in outer space aboard the greatest starship ever created, the ship that could never crash, the Titanic. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Douglas Adams. This is incredible timing, you know.
I know, it's extraordinary. I mean, the weird thing is, I mean, the first, we've been in development with this for full production for 2 years. And
always called it the Titanic?
It's always been Starship Titanic. It actually originated as a couple of paragraphs in a book I wrote in 1982, Life, the Universe and Everything. And of course, the weird thing is, about a year ago, suddenly news begins to seep out of Hollywood of actually this disastrous movie that's going to happen. You know, it's going way over budget, it's going to sort of kill. And so everyone sort of said to it, are you sure you don't want to change the title? You know, it could be very, very bad for you as, this movie comes out. And I said, no, this is what we've called it. This is what it's always been called. We'll stick with it. And do you know that movie wasn't a disaster?
Yeah, you can say that. It took you 2 years to put this game together?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Where did you get... The idea came out of a couple of paragraphs. So the idea...
That's right, yeah.
The idea was...
The idea is simply, there's this giant, the most fantastic, I mean, actually, in the book, it was just a joke about technology that cannot possibly go wrong and therefore has to go wrong immediately. And that was all it was. But in this case, you have, the most fabulous, stupendous ship ever built in the heart of a galactic civilization of which we know nothing. And its maiden voyage, it crashes into your home.
And that's where the game starts.
And that's where the game starts.
In your home.
Yeah, and you have to get on board the ship. Well, you don't have to if you want to play the 2-minute version of the game. You get on board it and find this most fantastic thing, completely unlike any starship you've ever seen on sort of Star Trek or Star Wars or whatever, because this is like one of these grand ocean liners or a grand hotel. In fact, the reference points we took were like the Queen Mary and the Chrysler Building and Tutankhamun's tomb, which is where all that Art Deco stuff came from.
How many of you did it take to actually create this game?
At maximum, about 36. I mean, the production team came and kind of went up and down depending on...
The cost of producing this thing must be astronomical. I have no idea. I would guess hundreds of thousands of dollars, close to $1 million to put it all together.
At least.
At least?
I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to reveal numbers, but it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Please buy it. Please buy it.
Please. How much does it sell for?
Oh, terribly reasonable. Hardly anything at all. Hardly very much above about 40 bucks.
40 bucks?
So that 40, 45 kind of thing.
How many books have you written?
8, 9.
You're an extraordinary man. You're also very, you're a brilliantly complicated man whose mind goes off in many different things, and one of your greatest assets is your curiosity, because every time you turn to something, you become in love and involved and want to carry it forward. How am I doing here?
I love it. No, I
another 50-cent analogy by Dini. What is a man who played guitar with Pink Floyd along the way, has written 8 books, come up with this, also worked as this is my favorite, a chicken shed cleaner and a bodyguard for an Arab family.
Can I clear some of these up?
No, yes, please.
I mean, the thing is, this chicken shed cleaner thing, I was never a career chicken shed cleaner.
Okay, it was a part-time chicken shed cleaner.
Yeah, no, what it was, you see, when I wrote The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and I was terribly young at the time, and I was about 26 when it was published. And the publisher said, you've got to have a biography in the front of the book, so can you write us your biography? I hadn't done anything. I said, well, I was born, and I went to school. And they said, well, you must have done something else. So I said, so in the end, these were jobs I'd done in summer vacations from college, being a chicken shed cleaner, a barn builder, and all that kind of stuff. So it's followed me ever since, that this strange and complicated
forevermore,
career.
Chicken shed shall be on thy name.
Yeah, exactly.
How young were you when you wrote The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Well, because it originated on radio, and I guess I was writing it when I was 25, I guess.
Where did the idea for that come from? Where was your inspiration?
Lying drunk in a field in Innsbruck.
I see.
At least I think this is true. And the thing is, I have been asked this question before, I have to tell you.
Yeah.
So I've told the story about lying drunk in a field in Innsbruck. Well, I think so. Now, the reason
when you're that drunk, it's very hard to remember.
No, it isn't that. It isn't that. It isn't that. It's just I've been asked the question so often, and you tell the story so often. After a while, you remember the story, and the story overlays any memory of the actual event.
Yeah.
So I think it's true, but I've only got my own word for it.
Okay. That's true. If you tell a lie often enough, it does become the truth.
It's not a lie. If you tell
just said it was. You said overlay.
No. The story,
Okay.
the telling of the story overlays the memory of doing it.
It doesn't matter because you're brilliant. I mean, what you do is just absolutely this huge phenomenon. Now you've done another one, and now you've got this other wonderful book coming out, the title of which I really like. A salmon.
The Salmon of Doubt.
It says,
well,
the Salmon of Doubt.
The Salmon of Doubt. Well, the Salmon of Doubt actually was a title I came up with to tease...
Well, I'm drunk in a...
No, to tease my editor. She said, what is this book going to be called? And to tease her, I called it A Salmon of Doubt, thinking she'd say, oh, my God, come on. And she said, oh, no, that's great. But in fact...
see there, now you've done it.
So, in fact, I've actually put that book aside because I was... and in fact, I put it aside in order to go and do this because you see, the thing is, when I started, I was doing radio and television and stage and this and that, a book, that damn book, as I've now learned to call it. And I loved just moving from one medium to another, doing all this kind of different kind of stuff. And then gradually, I had to do another book, then another book, then another book. And after a decade or so of doing nothing but writing books, I was thinking, all I'm doing is sitting in a room typing. I'm going crazy. Everybody thinks you're leading a wonderful, glamorous life because you're a successful novelist. And you're sitting typing, saying, please, can I go and have a swim or something, and so
Can I go out now, Mom, please?
Yes. And so I thought I really want to do something which is sort of collaborative and fun and involves me in a lot of different things, and I get to play with a lot of toys and so on. This is where Starship Titanic came from. And it was also, I spent a certain amount of time sort of playing games. And I thought, I can do better than that. Well, in fact, I did, that's always the things that impels you. You see somebody do something and think, well, they didn't do this, or they didn't miss out on that opportunity, so you go and have a go. I mean, I first did a computer game of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy many years ago, back in about 84, 85. And that was in the days of text-only adventure games. I mean, people said of text-only adventure games, it was just like a novel, only you got to do the typing. But no, in fact, what it was, it kind of involves you in a virtual conversation with the game, and that's kind of very engaging. Then, of course, graphics come along, and text adventures kind of died out. And it was a long time, though, before the graphics were any good. And when they finally got good, you had these wonderful worlds, like in Myst and so on, but nothing happens in them. And I looked at these and thought, well, the one thing that's missing from here is the thing that these graphic adventures used to excel in, which is this engagement. Yeah. So, setting out to do this, we create these sort of wonderful environments, but then you fill it with characters, and you give the characters the ability to speak. Now, this is something that took about a year to do, because and it means that you can go up to any of the characters in the game, and you can start to type at them, and they will answer you absolutely in response to what you say, in character, in context.
There are a few of them now.
Oh yes, this is the Barbot. He's kind of based on and this is the parrot. The parrot is actually played by Terry Jones of Monty Python. And no, you see, when I asked him to do it, the interesting thing was, you see, Terry was born to play a parrot. Every single part he's ever done, he's played as a parrot.
Right. Let's say that on his bio, born to play parrot.
Well, he was born to play a parrot.
I have to interrupt you for two things. One, I want to tell you you're one of my favorite kinds of guests, ever. Because I just say hello. And you are so entertaining and charming and have so many wonderful stories. You are truly my favorite guest. From the man who brings you Hey Jude Falling Over, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and now Douglas Adams' latest endeavor, the Starship Titanic. We'll be back in just a moment. What a